Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Curious Owlbear, and I'm here to explore everything Dungeons & Dragons. We're continuing our journey through Ghosts of Saltmarsh today. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that my party of 3 players were successfully able to complete the Haunted House, which is the first portion of the first part of the first adventure in the campaign module. The book dictates that the players will have to spend a few days in town before continuing on to the next section. So, due to the fewer number of players in my party, I decided to let them undertake a short side quest. The players explored the town for a little while, speaking with several of the citizens to get their take on the struggles between the traditionalists who wish to keep the status quo of the town, and the loyalists who support the Crown's efforts to crack down on crime. Our smuggler decided to look for more information regarding the smuggling ring that they uncovered in the haunted house, or the possible lizard folk threat. And so began my improvised side quest. The party went down to the docks, which was in a state of jubilation due to the bountiful catch of the day, and met with Jimmy, a 15-year-old dock worker who's been employed in Saltmarsh for the last several years. Jimmy didn't really know of any stolen weapons, nor did he really have any stories about the lizard folk beyond those that the sailors exchange when they're deep into their cups. However, Jimmy did witness a recent brawl between 2 thugs and an alleged member of the Scarlet Brotherhood. Up until this point, my players hadn't really heard any mention of the Scarlet Brotherhood, so I felt this was a good moment to throw a little mention in there. Jimmy had also heard a rumor that the Crown had sent a caravan with enough gold to commission 6 new warships, but this caravan had recently been lost in the Hool Marshes to the west. This rumor comes directly from the Dock Rumors table in the front section of the book, and I didn't really expect my players to take the word as gospel. But players always surprise you, so of course they immediately wanted to head out into the marshes to investigate. Now, the book states that the council will contact the party if they attempt to leave town, but I felt that this would be fairly rushed due to the fact my players had just returned to town the day before. Also, due to the fact that I have fewer party members than the book recommends, I felt this would be a good time to let them get a little further into the setting and to get a little more experience points before heading into the next section. So, the party journeyed out towards the Hool Marshes, which are about a day's travel away from Saltmarsh. However, the Hool Marshes present a vast, sprawling area, and there's no notable path that leads directly through. Camping outside of the swamp, the players heard splashing and thrashing around in the water beyond. Though the players don't know it yet, these were a few of the smaller demons that have been transported to the Hool Marshes due to the unchecked ancient magics that caused these places to form. If the players spent a night inside of the Hool Marshes, they would have been attacked by a small group of quasits, which I feel is a good introduction to these demons. The players journeyed into the marshes in the morning, having to navigate between mounds of mud mixed with decaying plant matter, and often walking through ankle-deep, stinking water. Eventually, they came to the Dunwater River, and they needed to find a safe way to cross it. However, just as they made it to the other side, they spotted a small rowboat coming down the river from the north towards them. The PCs all hid and waited for the boat to get closer. As it approached, they noticed it was about 4 lizard folk sitting on the rowboat. When the boat was close enough, the smuggler attempted to throw a grappling hook onto the front of the boat so it could not escape, while the cleric and the rogue opened up on some of the lizard folk. One of the 4 was instantly killed by the sneak attack, but the grappling hook fell short. The lizard folk beached their rowboat and ran to attack the party. At this point, the players noticed 2 wooden crates sitting on the back of the rowboat. At the end of a short battle, 1 lizard folk lay unconscious, 1 was incapacitated due to Tasha's hideous laughter, and another escaped by jumping into the river and swimming away. The players searched the crates, which contained partially rotting fish and several uncured animal hides. Luckily, the bard smuggler had comprehend languages at his disposal, so the party was able to interrogate the lizard folk. He was pretty insulting to the party, calling them stupid humans, and not giving them very much information. The players asked various questions of the lizard folk, and were able to discover that his only interest in them is the weapons they could provide from Saltmarsh. He mentioned a greater threat to all of us, and a mysterious group of enemies that live beneath the waves. It also turned out that this lizard folk, named Slither, was the brother of the lizard folk that the PCs murdered during the sneak attack. The players felt a little ashamed of this, and allowed the rest of the lizard folk to take their rowboat and head home. At this point, the players realized just how vast the Hool Marshes were, and that they didn't really have any quick means of locating a caravan within this vast region. So, they turned back towards Saltmarsh. I think this timing will work out nearly perfectly, as Anders will have had a chance to meet with the rest of the council, and they'll likely be ready to move forward with the next stage of the quest by the time the players return to town. I hope you enjoyed this little side quest for the region surrounding Saltmarsh. If you like this informal style of video, let me know about it in the comments. I'm hoping to get as much Ghosts of Saltmarsh content to you as quickly as I can, and this style of video helps me do it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload next. Until next time, stay curious, adventurers.